thinking you're going to play Victoria Azarenka. So when do you find out that you're not, and then what do you do after that?
I actually had like a little bit of a feeling after the warm-up, and everyone was like, no, you're wrong. And I was like, I'm pretty sure she's not going to play. And then a little time went on, and then like the supervisor called me and was like, I don't know if anyone told you. I was like, I just had a feeling. But it was like an hour before the match. And I obviously had never played this girl before, and I had never seen her play. So I was like quickly on YouTube, just like seeing how she plays.
Righty, lefty.
Yeah, I was like, I just know that she has dark hair and she's tall. So I was like, that was all that I knew about her. So
you recognized her.
Yeah, I knew who she was, but like I didn't know how she played. So I was like, this is going to be.
What do you learn in an hour?
Not that much. So I was like, okay, she has a good serve because she's obviously taller. Forehand, she has a lot of spin on the forehand, hits through the backhand really well, and she drop shots a ton. So that was like the collective, like very 5 minutes of points on YouTube.
That happened more than once today.
Yeah.
Keep going. I mean, is it the range of things that can happen to a tennis player that are destabilizing? Where does this rank? I mean, how big a panic is this an hour before the match? Ooh, not the opponent I thought.
Yeah, it's tough because in the first round of a slam, there's always nerves anyway. So then to have to totally pivot, like I was going into the Vika match, like we've played so many times that I was like, my game plan, I know what I was doing. I was like laser focused, and they're like, not playing her. So I'm like, it's a little bit tricky in terms of like, if you don't play someone that you know, so like if your new opponent is someone you've never heard of and you've done all the scout, like you know what you're doing. In the first round of slam, you want to be like overly prepared, right? So then to be severely underprepared in like an hour before you play is a little bit startling, flustering. But I think the person who, like, it's the advantage is to your opponent because they have nothing to lose. They just got in. They're super excited. They're super happy. In the first round of a slam, they're like, I'm making $100,000. Like, there's just nothing to lose. So you have to really just, like, laser and focus, but just on other things.
Gotcha. I mean, let's reset, too. But you won, played a great match. Credit to you for getting through. So we've been up here talking to players, and this theme today of freshness keeps echoing, of players sort of finding the need to sort of keep things fresh. This is the 12th time you've played that event here. That's like 3 high schools worth of Wimbledon. How have you kept this experience fresh?
Well, I don't know. I've done it a little bit differently. Like last year, we made it like a little bit of a family trip, so that like made it fun. This year, I only had one survivor come. Oh, well, I had 2 survivors, my mom and my husband. So they came back. So we went from a little bit more, we dwindled down. Now we only have 2. But I just try to have fun and enjoy. Like I played an extra tournament this year in Birmingham, and then I played in Eastbourne, and we didn't get to come down as quick as we did last year. So we just like got to our house, got settled, and just kind of like are chilling. But I normally try to do things that are like different that I wouldn't normally do. So I feel like I'm, keeping it fresh and new, and like there's always something new to happen. Like if you've played Wimbledon, how many times did you say?
I think it's your 12th
Oh, my 12th one. So I think like just doing something that you wouldn't normally do like makes it worth it.
What's that going to be this year?
I have no idea. I was looking on Get Your Guide of like all the little trips you can take, and then I started seeing like 9 hours or 12-hour day, and I was like, my husband's not going for that. So I was like, okay, maybe we do a food tour or something.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
No Stonehenge on your off day is what you're saying.
No.
All right. Plenty else to do in London.
Yeah, definitely.
Listen, even before coming in to Wimbledon, you've been doing a lot of stuff off court as well. You're involved with a new show on Amazon Prime. Really cool, talking about junior tennis in the States. Tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, so super exciting. I was able to actually, I don't know, my junior tennis career was so hectic and chaotic, and I wasn't even that good. So to be able to see these kids who are actually good go through the process of like their parents and they're traveling and how expensive it is and how, families get kind of like flip-flopped because they're like, if there's another child involved, like all of those things. So all of the things of like junior tennis are really like brought to the surface, which I think is important just because it's a great sport, but it's very hectic. And I don't think people understand like what families go through when like one kid is actually good at tennis.
Give them some advice. What would you tell them?
Oh, don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think obviously tennis has given me so much in my life, and I have a younger brother, so I totally could relate, and like how he was able to travel. Like when I was probably like 17, 18, 19, 20, when I was like playing junior slams stuff, he traveled with us everywhere. So like he got to see a lot of the world just because, we were traveling. And then these kids seeing it in them, like, it's such a like interesting, youthful, like fun experience. And I think if you do it the right way and you have balance in your family, I think that helps the kid or whoever it is that's playing whatever sport. But it's interesting. I think that tennis is unique in that way because you travel all around these sectionals and all of these events and all this stuff and super nationals and whatever. At the end of the day, like you end up go to college or you turn pro or whatever it is, like there's really only like 2 pathways. So to like go through all of that and then see like, oh, she went to college or he went pro, like I think it's a very hectic situation and a lot of families go through it obviously. But at the end of the day, there's only, one Coco Gauff or one Sloane Stephens, whatever it is. And then there could be, Danielle Collins who goes to college. So I think like just kind of like finding that and bringing that to the forefront is really interesting.
What was it like working with LeBron James?
Interesting. Obviously, they did the same version of basketball, which he was much closer to just because, he's LeBron James. Yeah, exactly. And his sons were in it. So I think that part was like, I don't have any kids that play tennis yet, so I was a little bit more detached in that way. But I think for the basketball version of it, it was interesting because, like, LeBron James is my dad, and, like, I'm playing like AAU basketball. Like there was like a different dynamic there, which I think is very cool. But it was cool. It was very interesting. And yeah, top class tennis coming soon.
July 18th.
July 18th, yeah.
Amazon Prime.
Make sure you guys watch it, okay? Or else.
How involved were you in it? Like the whole process, big
Yeah, I'm like in it. Like I'm in the interviews. I think Foe's in the interviews too, but just kind of like the dynamic of what we were going to track and like what we were going to show. Like as a young person, like I don't know if I could have ever like let people into my home and like come to my house and seen my family and my dogs and like, the whole thing. Like I think that was very vulnerable of those families to do, but very like eye-opening for a lot of other families to see like this is actually what's happening on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, so we did like, we figured out if we were going to do like an Orange Bowl type of thing, like Eddie Hurt Orange Bowl thing, so people could actually like follow them through, the whole year of like Super Nationals and all of that stuff. So I think the pathway that we chose, like to really like document the kids was important just because you could see all of their progress and like leading up to Orange Bowl and then, deciding if they were going to school or whatever it was. So, yeah, I was very involved. It was probably one of my most fun projects by far.
Awesome.
You sold that well. Sounds really
you.
no, seriously, it sounds really compelling. Good for you.
It's great.
Multi-talented. She's always paying it forward. Good stuff, Sloane.
I do what I can.
That's why she's part of the Tennis Channel family.
Exactly.
By the way, back to the win. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great catching up with you as always, and we wish you the best of luck going forward.
Thank you.